walk
Yeah.
across
What?
to the United
Okay.
States. And that's a
What
good
happened?
thing.
What happened? Tell us the story so I have it, so we don't forget it. Tell us a story about your mom and dad, you said.
Well,
They crossed the river and Colorado
I
River.
told you before.
What town again?
Oh, well, what did you do with the first one? You erased it?
Come on, tell the story again. I'm recording you so that we don't forget.
Well, they crossed the Colorado River.
Uh-huh. And they had
It
two
was
kids?
my dad, my mom, and 2 kids,
What kids?
Maria and Joe. And they probably took their shoes off to cross over to the United States.
And then when they got over,
So that
And
was
then?
it. I didn't.
Well, I thought somebody said something about quicksand.
Oh, that was another time my mom had told us something. They were crossing over, and they took her through some swamps or something, and there was even some quicksand by them. And they had to watch because they, you know, if they didn't have the guy, I guess they would have gone walked through the quicksand.
I know my mom was 15 years older than Maria because she had her at 14.
Yeah, no,
Maria
15.
was
got
a
pregnant
baby.
14 and had her
Yeah.
at 15.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, those are, things that I heard and
Yeah.
I used to tell them, well, tell me more,
Do you know where your dad was from?
Huh?
What part of Mexico your dad was from? Do you know what part of Mexico your dad was from? What state? Michoacan?
And I had it in my mind.
It's Michoacan.
Michoacan.
Uh,
But I just want to know what town.
Okay,
in Michoacan.
what you didn't hear?
She didn't hear you tell
Oh,
again.
he was from Michoacan, the state, but I don't know what town.
oh, well, I don't know
You
the
don't know
town.
No.
Oh,
Maybe Francis might.
Yeah.
oh. Do you remember?
No.
You didn't hear nothing?
No. I have to do some more research.
And I had it all here, but
Yeah.
No, my mom was from Guanajuato.
anyway.
Yeah, that's where your mom
And
was
the
from.
state was Guarimano, I think it was.
Oh, really? Why?
Or Guanajuato.
That was
That was a town.
that
Guanajuato.
was a town because that was in the,
Guarimano then. It's a state. I don't know how you spell that though. You know what? Do it on your I can't think now. I can't think.
What do you remember about your mom?
Just the same thing almost. Well, she remembers more. Your grandma does, but not me.
No?
Well, the same stories. I think that I heard the same stories your grandma did.
Well,
Juanita.
didn't your
Nah.
mom live with you?
Yeah,
More.
So you spent a lot of
Okay.
time with her.
yeah.
Juanita
Well, mostly
more.
when I had the girl small, and I was living with her in Compton. We're living with her in Compton. We would sit in the kitchen. She
Okay.
would talk more.
Juanita-
But it's almost the same
Juanita
thing,
more.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what? I know I remember that and Ines was the one that had a picture. It looked like an old fashioned driver's license. That's what it looked like from the 30s or 20s.
And you
something.
should have
See right here.
It was a
She was-
picture of
he was-
my mother's real
Your
father.
grandmother was born
Her real
in
father.
Michoacan.
Oh, I'll
the
have
birthplace
to,
of
And she had
Mexico.
it. I told Yolanda, but she said
But I
she
don't know
looked, but
what
she couldn't
town.
find it.
No?
But she showed it to us one time when I was
Oh!
over there.
Oh,
It was
here it goes.
for Aunt Ida's birthday and Aunt Frances' birthday. So Aunt Frances
Oh.
went over there so they could spend the birthdays together. That was that 1 year. That was years ago though. And she showed us the picture because my brother Joe was there too. We were all talking.
bet you haven't.
So
Okay,
she got this
he
picture
was
out
born
and she was
in,
showing us that was our mother's real father. Yeah. And you know what? The thing is that my mom never knew who her father was. She got her stepfather's last name, and because her father was a married man when her mother had an affair with him, and so she never really knew who her father was. At first, she found out who her father was, but later on, when she was about 25 years later, after she had come to the United States as a married woman with kids, she finally went back 25 years later. back to Mexico to visit
So
her
your
mother.
Uncle
So she was gone
Felix
25
was-
years from Mexico without seeing her
He
mother.
was born 1909.
So what was her dad's name?
So I can't remember that. Just said I wasn't on
He
that
was
thing, and I can't remember what it was.
91 when he
What
died.
about his last name?
That's just I don't remember nothing.
He died in
And I
Los
can't remember how he
Angeles.
looked like, but I seen it on the picture. Like I'm trying to remember what he looked like, but I just can't. But you know what?
Do you have my
I
dad
found out
there?
later on that
Yeah, he died.
How
she
he died?
never knew who
Not
his
how
father
he
was,
died.
but all the time he was there
He
right in
died
front of her own nose. Because she used to
One
play
of
with,
his trees
with her half
in the
sister.
backyard.
That was her
Yeah.
friend.
He
And,
was-
and she would
he
go
was like
play with her
76.
half sister. And she didn't know that was her half sister. And then the father would come out. She said she remembered, and she
would
would
have
talk
been
to her,
still
my
alive
mother.
if he had
And
taken
she
it.
remember him being so nice with her.
He hurt
He was
himself.
always real nice with her, and
Yeah,
always
inside
come out
and
to
turn
hi to her and talk
injuries.
to her.
Yeah.
But she said, I didn't know that was my father. I didn't find out until 25 years later when she went back to Mexico.
My
She found
grandma
out.
told me that story too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much for.
And all this time she could have got to really know that was really her father. When she was a little girl growing up, she could have known that was her father, that she really had a real father. And not a stepfather that's the reason she got married so young, to get away from the stepfather. Because the stepfather was mean to her, and then he was mean to I bet you anything he used to hit my grandma. Our mom's stepfather used to be mean to my mom's mother. And that's the reason that my mom said she got married. She told me that's when she ran away and got married with my dad. She only knew my dad for about a week. And then he went to ask my grandma permission to get married, and asked my stepfather. So my mom said, "Yeah, go ahead."
Oh yeah, because her stepfather was after her. but she was a tomboy. He couldn't get hold of her.
Yeah.
She used to climb
She used to,
the
but
trees.
you know,
Used to climb the what do you call the houses? The top.
Yeah, the roof.
The roof.
but you know
Yeah.
that in fact in those days
I wonder
they
why they
had
didn't do
horses.
something to
That
that
was their
man.
transportation,
Well, he
and they
never got
took care of
hold
the
of
horses. They used to hang these, they stole horses. They hang them for cattle to wrestle. That's what they call wrestling. But yeah, but she got some big horse. She said was a beautiful horse, and he was a shadow, a cowboy, in other words, whatever you want to call it over there. But she said the
Hello.
shadow had this beautiful horse. He tied it up in a pole, and he went into the cantina. And when he was in there, I got in his horse and I took it for a ride. And I rode. She said I rode that horse so hard and so fast
yeah.
that she brought the horse
Give him
back.
those
And the
so we
owner
can
was
eat
out
it.
there looking for his horse, and he
Let
was so
those.
mad. He was all
We're not taking
mad.
this.
He just was ready to go over and soak his horse. So here comes the mom with a horse, and the poor horse
Yeah.
was all sweaty. And you
have
know,
to brush him down.
you have to brush him down right away because she just ran the heck out of that horse. So he got so mad. So I guess her stepfather must have found out, and he was, he wanted to really punish her. But she had a tia. That was my grandma's sister, a tia, that told him that the day you ever lay a hand on Guadalupe, that's the day I'm gonna come after you.
Mhm.
So that's why he never laid a hand on my mother, because he was afraid that Batia would kill him. Yeah. And you know who knew Batia? Your Uncle Joe's grandmother. They were friends in Mexico. They knew each other. And she even asked me about my mom and about my mom's tia. And she told me that they were friends in Mexico. Yeah.
Egypt had no territorial.
Well, so much for Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to remember so that we know.
Yeah.
By the summer of 1949,
So when she went back after 25 years, she went back to Mexico. She remember everything about everything up. And she blamed her mom. She said she got mad with her mom. And she didn't want to, but everything was,
Yeah.
because she found out she went to, but she found out that all the time her father was there. She knew that was her father, then afterwards. But she told her, her mom, that all this time she could have told her who her father was. And she said, all this time you let me get married with a man that I only knew for a week. You let me get married with him. You didn't even try to stop me or anything. You just went ahead and just, okay, go ahead. just so that I could, just because my stepfather, you know, I was in his way, he didn't like me, so, you know, to make him probably happy, he said, go ahead, get married with a stranger. And she said that's why she got married young. Yeah.
Okay, and then
Well,
how did they meet?
well, he took a liking to my mom. She was like a tomboy,
What you said,
but he was desperate to get married. You know, get married and have kids, I guess. So he seen my mom. Before he left on his horse, they asked for her hand. What do you think they said? Go ahead. My mom said, it's okay. You know why? Because the stepfather was after my mom, a molester. So, of course, what my mom says, told my dad, you know, because he wanted to take her with him and they were going to get married. And he was going to take her to live with his mom. So from there on, you know, my mom stayed there. She started having a couple of kids there. But the mother-in-law was mean. She was so
controlling. She was
how did I say? She had nothing but boys, and she loved her boys better than girls.
Didn't I tell you about my
So
mom?
one of my brothers was one of my brothers was born, and he wanted to kill her. Kill my brother. He threw a blanket on top of him on his face, and he was just a baby.
I thought it was a pillow.
My
Yeah.
my sister or something. Anyway, somebody seemed that he had the.
It was a pillow. My mom said it was a
I think
pillow.
my mom did. She never put the blanket on her, so of course it was
The mother.
the mean grandma threw a blanket on him. He was just a baby, but he could have killed. She could have killed him. Too.
Yeah, smothered him.
Suffocate him, you know, with a blanket.
This was
He was just a baby, and
Which is a pretty born.
who was that?
My brother Joe.
the baby couldn't even move right, you know, so he couldn't
Yeah.
take
Which
those
is a
blankets
nighttime
off of
baby.
his face.
Wow.
But ever since that time, my mom didn't like her.
Yeah.
He still like her.
But you know what? When she found out that my dad was out drinking with his buddies, he was already married with kids, 2 kids already at home. And he was out there drinking, so they had, by that time they had moved down my house, and they already had moved down there, had their own place. So she went to see the grandchildren, she asked where's Jose, and my mom said, I don't know, out somewhere with his friends. So she goes, she went out looking for him, and found him with his buddies drinking, with his buddies, and she told their friends, and they did what she told them, get him and tie him up on that pole over there. So their friends got him and tied my father up, and she got a big old stick and she hit it the heck out of him with a stick. And my mom said when he got home he could barely walk. He was all beaten up. The grandmother did that. His mother did that. And he told, next time you stay home, you don't be drinking with your friends. You have kids to take care of.
And my dad's mother didn't like girls. The girls that she wanted the boys to herself. She didn't want to let go. And so when they started having kids, she was mean with them. Only one of the girls married one of my uncles. She got after that lady. He tried to do what she was doing for the other daughter-in-laws, but this one turned around and said, you better not even get near me. She was mean. Boy. And then she took my mom, and you know, don't let her, get away with a lot of things. You go after her, So I don't know how that stopped, but she stopped. Isn't that something? In those days, they were mean. The sons,
The mother-in-law.
because she didn't want to let go of her son. She had four
Look,
sons.
I don't know if you ever noticed. My mom would call that her mother-in-law, but my mom turned out the same like my mother-in-law. Her boys were everything. The girls, no, not us girls, but her boys, everything. Her boys. My mom was just her boys.
Who did that?
My mother was Joe, Raymond, Benny, Me, girl, or her boys. Always her boys. Her boys.
Well, you know, it just right in the family. That's where she learned it.
Well, she learned from her mother-in-law.
She learned it.
She just her boys, always her boys. Her boys, oh, you know, everything for her boys.
Them ladies were mean. Oh my goodness. Only one girl, a daughter-in-law. She's the one that stood to the lady. She said, "Boy, you hit me and I'll hit you back." You know.
Wait, don't tell me that was well. Who
And then
was
she
that
told
one?
my mom, "Don't let her do that," you know, because the lady got scared of her, you know. But she said, "You ain't gonna boss me around here," you know.
Well, which was that? Which one was that one? I can't remember.
They were scared of her because
Who was
she
she
said
married to?
Who was her name?
she would tell her brother, my dad, the boys, her boys, you know, so they could hit them.
What was
That
her
was-
name?
Huh?
What was her name?
The tia, or not the grandma's, our grandma's daughter-in-law. What was her name? The one that wasn't afraid of her.
What was it?
The one that the mother, no, the daughter-in-law that stood up for herself. The one that told our grandma, that she better not,
Do you remember her name?
No, I was asking you. What was what was her name? You don't remember her name? Who knows? You know what?
Which was
We
she
might even
married
have a
to?
picture.
Who
If I
was
knew
she
her name.
married to?
Wait a minute. If I knew her
Who
name,
was she married to? Which son?
who was she married to? I wonder.
Huh?
The daughter-in-law, our grandma's daughter-in-law. Who was she married to? The one that stood up to her. The one that told you better not do that to me.
Felix.
Oh, okay.
That's the one that
She was
moved
so
to
pretty.
Bakersfield.
I
Oh,
see the yeah, she was
I had
pretty.
pictures of her that.
She was young.
What
she
was her
pretty,
name
she was
then?
Pretty.
Felix.
No, la
Felice's
tia,
mom.
la tia.
Oh my gosh.
Felix's wife. What was her name? What's her
Huh?
name? What's her name? The one that our Tio Felix got married. Our Tio Felix's wife. What was her name? The name of
I
our.
have it on my.
Do you have it?
Yeah, what's her name?
The,
Not mine
our
there.
Tio Felix's wife. What's her name?
Lucia.
Lucia.
Yes.
I have
yes.
a picture of her. My mom has the
I
old
have,
pictures,
yeah.
but they're in Texas.
Yeah.
Well, Venia
I have one when
Venia
she
had
was
them all
married.
together in one
When
box.
she was married, she was very young.
Yeah, well,
That's all on.
I have a picture over there in Texas. All the pictures
She
are over
found
there.
out about the lady that tried to drown my oldest brother as a baby. She found out about it and she got after her. I don't know how she found out about that, but she did. Because if she hadn't found out about that, he would have really killed her, the baby, put a blanket on him. And they were mean then. They wanted the boys to themselves, their sons.
Yeah.
They didn't want them to have wives. And then when my dad would come from work, tell him or the other ones that they did something, so they could hit him. So. But I guess there was one that didn't.
She stood up for herself.
Stood back afraid of the husband. So. But anyway.
I think I heard somebody say, I don't know if it was my mom saying something about that. Our tia Lucia, that she had told my mom that their mother-in-law always liked my mom best. Then now that she told you best because my mom never stood up for herself, but look, our tia Lucia did. She was, stand up for herself against the mother-in-law. But she always liked my mother the best.
And my mom took
from
a
the
trip to
from the
Mexico
daughter-in-law.
to be with her mom. And I don't know whether the ex-wives were, no, they weren't there no more. They probably came to California or the United States from Mexico with the husbands. But I don't know. But that lady was mean. Yeah. Anyway.